continue to expect and believe in miracles. April 17, 2013. Continue to expect and believe in miracles, and you will find them manifesting before you with grace and ease. Each one of you are learning to tap into and understand your ability to create the situations occurring in your lives, and to shape the events playing out into events that benefit you and allow you to express your fullest and purest of creator light in every moment. You are ultimately growing toward the goal of merging with the higher realms. You are finding increasingly, and in doing so, you will be and are finding harmony and unity with all those around you as you increasingly begin to realize that you are all facets of the same beautiful entity of consciousness and intelligence. You are all comprised of the all-encompassing energy of love, and together, we are all united in the realms of our Mother, Father, Creator. You are growing into the realization of your personal divinity and of your unity with all those around you, and while there are indeed souls on your world who are not acting in alignment with the unity and harmony that is meant to be felt and established at this time, those of you who are beginning to understand this harmony and help to spread the word are increasingly seeing it understood and fed by the rest of your fellow awakening collective. Understanding greater concepts. We have asked you to expect and embrace miracles and the very idea of manifesting them, because again, doing so will draw them toward you as you grow into your realization of your divinity and your strong powers to create and experience what you know to be in alignment with the experiences you wish to have. So many dear awakening souls have looked toward the overall New Age movement and the higher states of consciousness you've been told so very much about, as a means to understand something much greater than themselves, and we applaud you, dear souls, for being able to realize the truth of your existence as spiritual beings from within dense and limited realms that have truly tested you so very much. Even those of you on the earth who have taken a plethora of lives upon her surface have experienced incredible lessons and challenges whilst on the earth, and in so many cases, you have emerged triumphantly as the beautiful creators you are and have always been. We and so many others will forever encourage your ongoing realization of everything you can do and be, for the limitations that have kept much of humanity in bondage have served to temporarily sever a higher dimensional link or a link to anything that is comprised of the harmonious vibrations we can feel so many of you are so very ready to grow toward. Humanity's ongoing evolution and collective creation power. Your evolution into the realms of full consciousness has been ongoing for every bit of your earthly experience, and you have all been learning lessons that are related to the learning and growth you have set out for yourselves. Absolutely everything that happens in your lives is displaying itself to you for a reason, and many of you are planning out specific things to happen to you so that you can notice the synchronistic nature of such things and be able to understand that your spirit guides and those aspects of yourselves helping you to coordinate events to manifest in your lives are with you. Truly, we are all with you, and so many of we masters who have incarnated on your world in an attempt to spread the very light and truth so many of you are so valiantly and diligently spreading now, are and will be continuing to speak with humanity to offer that same knowledge, love and insight that we possessed whilst experiencing the lower dimensions of the earth. Your collective creation power is very exponential, and as a collective, you can truly do anything. This is why souls with negative or service to self-based interests have used your collective ability to get you to support governments and regimes that are truly not acting in your best interest. In many cases, these very souls have influenced the minds and hearts of many people who rebelled against us during our lifetimes on your earth, and there are souls employed to rebel against the giving of light and truth on your earth at present as well. These souls are playing a catalytic role, and as has been said, the influence of negativity in general is dissolving, but we discuss this topic because it is relatable to your power as a collective decision-making body. Meeting the Earth Council and monitored collective energy. Humanity is to unite in the time ahead and come together to establish a new paradigm based in the best interests of each one of you, and we as well as a plethora of other ascended souls will be with you to help oversee the rebuilding of your world, and along the way, humanity will be introduced to the Earth Council, who has been overseeing affairs related to many aspects of your evolution. A collective ascension is quite rare, and as such, Every aspect of your Earth and your collective energy is monitored, and we as well as your galactic brethren convene with your Earth Council routinely on a plethora of matters. The collective energy levels and the effect they have upon Gaia are constantly monitored, and as you are collectively headed for higher states of consciousness, yet are still feeding negativity into a previously discussed fading hologram. There is much energetic work to be done to help humanity see the light, and to those extents, a plethora of higher dimensional souls who specialize in energy work have been working overtime, as you might term it, to help soften the collective feeding of density. While your free will does not allow us to intervene or intrude upon your collective desire to feed negativity in a massive way, the desires and intents of so many of you who are seeing the light are seeing us able to find wiggle room and bring the light more fully and purely into the collective energies. Assistance with your personal transmutations. The awakening to the higher realms so many of you dear light workers and starseeds are beginning to find within yourselves are to strengthen exponentially as you discover your unfolding higher dimensional perception more and more, and as you grow in your natural ability as creators and experiencers of that which you create. Your very inhabitants of the lower dimensions was bred out of a desire to experience your own creation, and experience your creation you certainly have. We have watched all of your experiences play out with the love of the Creator in our hearts, and since many of us were on your Earth at one time and know of the struggles and pains many of you are going through in this very moment, we will be with you to act as transmuters of your personal negative energy whilst you help to transmute that of the collective. What many of you don't yet realize is that your perceived faltering along your spiritual path is not always because you are losing ground or turning away from progress. In many cases, you do indeed allow negativity to seep in and change your perspective, in part, because of the role of transmuting collective dense energy you have taken on. It is a noble and difficult role indeed, and you can funnel every last bit of negativity or density you experience in your lives right on up to we masters or to any other facet of the light forces who are focusing ourselves upon your beautiful planet at present. For we are just as eager as you are to bring forth the higher realms and see the light more fully established upon the surface of your world. Exposure to the density you are transmuting. Every one of you are and have been instrumental in introducing the physical and metaphysical changes and the concepts that will drive such changes to your reality, and we commend each of you who have, in many cases, made a great personal sacrifice in transmuting the collective energies. In many cases, transmuting the collective dense energies means yourselves being exposed to them in very big ways, and we ask you all to allow the flow of the higher realms and of energies purer than what you currently experience when you feel as if negativity or the collective density around you is becoming too difficult to transmute. Indeed it is not, and you are being offered so very much assistance from the higher realms that for the most part, the majority of humanity is still completely unaware of. Mental limitations and initial resistance to disclosure. Blockages and limitations have been established around your current society, and the specific limitations we speak of are those which feed your collective veils that block you from a higher dimensional experience or from a communication with the higher dimensional beings assisting in your evolution. These limitations we speak of are mental in nature, and come from a perceived need to criticize or downplay any startling truth that may be outside of the paradigm of the person learning it. Indeed, claiming something not to be based in reality is much easier for some people than to accept the true reality of what has and continues to happen on your world, and some will remain closed off even when the initial disclosure announcements hit. There will be many souls on your world spread especially throughout the various alternative news websites and spiritual forums, who will be overemployed to cry foul when the initial manifestations begin. Many of these souls have been paid for so very long to spread negativity, and when the initial disclosure announcements reach your televisions, computers, minds and hearts, those very souls who have been employed to convince so many that the events you are reaching as a planet are not to happen will be working to convince humanity that the announcements will have come with a negative intent or agenda. It may be said most often by those souls that cabal types have infiltrated the initial announcements in an effort to bedazzle and then pacify humanity, and this will not be so. In fact, the souls who will be spreading such disinformation are actually employed by corporations under the control of the descendants of the cabal heads who are experiencing forms of containment that see them now unable to do much of what they had been doing. The role of light workers in quelling the public. Even beyond the souls who are employed to shape and mold public opinion and gain influence so that they can do so, there will be genuinely unaware souls who will be startled by everything that will present itself to you, and as has been said, you light workers will be acting as calmers and helpers when the initial truths of our existence and that of the galactics and so many other things begin to surface on a widespread level. These truths are already beginning to be made known in your mainstream media, and each one of you can be instrumental in introducing truth and change by spreading it wherever and to whomever you feel will benefit from it. So many of you have already been so very active in spreading the truths and concepts of the higher realms, and you have as well spread the truth of the tyranny that has been wrought upon you and your planet. Those who have remained in control and influence have been fighting so very hard to see humanity unprepared for your cycle of evolution, and we ask for you all to see that their influence is but a fading whisper in a reality that has begun to embrace the light and that will begin to reflect such an embrace as the collective energies continue along their lightening and refinement process. As we make our final impressions for this communication and thank our scribe for allowing us to speak through him as well as each one of you for allowing us to speak before you in this moment, we remind you that the faith and motivation you have been building upon for so very long to bring forth change will increase exponentially, as the heightened energies being delivered bring a sense of increased motivation in each one of you. Nurture and embrace your heightened motivation, for it is to serve you well, now and in the time ahead. Thank you to the Ascended Masters. Channeled through Wes Anak. WesAnak.com. AquariusParadigm.com.